Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and we are here for our daily lectionary readings. It is for Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. We have a Psalm reading, we have an Old Testament reading, and we have a New Testament reading. Let us hear the readings for the day. Our Psalm reading, once again, comes from Psalms 35, verses 1 through 10. We have the same Psalm reading Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so this is the last day for Psalms 35, 1 through 10. Harass these hecklers, God. Punch the bullies in the nose. Grab a weapon, anything at hand. Stand up for me. Get ready to throw the spear. Aim the javelin at the people who are out to get me. Reassure me. Let me hear you say, I'll save you. When those thugs try to knife me in the back, make them look foolish. Frustrate all those who are plotting my downfall. Make them like cinders in a high wind, with God's angels working the bellows. Make their road lightness and mud slick, with God's angels on their tails. Out of sheer cussedness, they set a trap to catch me. Let no good reason they dug a ditch to stop me. Surprise them with your ambush. Catch them in the very trap that they set, the disaster that they planned for me. But let me run loose and free, celebrating God's great work, every bone in my body laughing, singing, God, there is no one like you. You put the down and out on their feet and protect the unprotected from bullies. Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29. We'll be looking at verses 1 through 14. Hear these words. This is the letter that the prophet Jeremiah sent from Jerusalem to what was left of the elders among the exiles, to the priests and the prophets and all the exiles from Nebuchadnezzar had taken to Babylon from Jerusalem, including King Jehoiakim, the queen mother, the government leaders, and all the skilled laborers and craftsmen. The letter was carried by Elasah, son of Shaphat, and Gemariah, son of Hilkiah, whose Zedekiah, king of Judah, had sent to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. The letter said, This is the message from God of angel armies, Israel's God, to all the exiles I've taken from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build houses and make yourself at home. Put in gardens and eat what grows in the country. Marry and have children. Encourage your children to marry and have children, so that you'll thrive in the country and not waste away. Make yourselves at home there and work for the country's welfare. Pray for Babylon's well-being. If things go well for Babylon, things will go well for you. Yes, believe it or not, this is the message from God of angels' armies, Israel's God. Don't let those so-called preachers and know-it-all who are all over the place there take you in with their lies. Don't pay attention to their fantasies that they keep coming up with to please you. They're a bunch of liars, preaching lies, and claiming I sent them. I never sent them. Believe me, God's decree. This is God's word on the subject. As soon as Babylon's 70 years are up and not a day before, I'll show up and take care of you as I promised and bring you back home. I know what I'm doing. I have it planned out, plans to take care of you, not abandon you, plans to give you the future that you hope for. When you call on me, when you come and pray to me, I'll listen. When you come looking for me, you'll find me. Yes, when you get serious about finding me and want it more than anything else, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed. God's decree. I'll turn things around for you. I'll bring you back from all the countries into which I drove you. God's decree. Bring you home to the place from where I sent you off into exile. You can count on it. Our New Testament reading today comes from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verses 1 through 20. The title is called The Madman. They arrived on the other side of the sea, in the country of Gerasene. As Jesus got out of the boat, a madman from the cemetery came up to him. He lived there among the tombs and the graves. No one could restrain him. He couldn't be chained, couldn't be tied down. He had been tied up so many times with chains and ropes, but he broke the chains, snapped the ropes. No one was strong enough to tame him. Night and day he roamed through the graves and the hills, screaming out and slashing himself with sharp stones. When he saw Jesus a long way off, he ran and he bowed in worship before him. Then howled in protest. What business do you have, Jesus, Son of the High God, messing with me? I swear to God, don't give me a hard time. Jesus had just commanded the tormenting evil spirit out. Get out of the man. Jesus asked him, tell me your name. He replied, my name is Mob. I'm a rioting mob. Then he desperately begged Jesus not to banish them from the country. A large herd of pigs were grazing and rooting on a nearby hill. The demons begged him, send us to the pigs so we can live in them. Jesus gave the order, but it was even worse for the pigs than for the man. Crazed, they stampede over the cliff into the sea and drowned. Those tending the pigs, scared to death, bolted and told their story in town and country. Everyone wanted to see what happened. They came up to Jesus and saw the madman sitting there, wearing decent clothes and making sense. No longer a walking madhouse of a man. Those who had seen it told the others what had happened to the demon-possessed man and the pigs. At first, they were in awe. And then they were upset over the drowned pigs. They demanded that Jesus leave and not come back. As Jesus was getting in the boat, the demon-delivered man begged to go along, but he wouldn't let him. Jesus said, go home to your own people. Tell them your story, what the master did, how he had mercy on you. The man went back and began to preach in the 10-town area about what Jesus had done for him. He was the talk of the town. Here ends our readings for the day.